Welcome back
to Cocktails and Conversations, the Red Cup Chronicles. Yours truly, Chris.
And Kiya.
Back here with another one. And
so, we go through this every week. We try to come up with different topics, things that's going to spark controversy. Or just get flowing, right? Like right now, there's really not much to do because of the pandemic. What else is there to do, really? Watch movies, talk about things that's on your mind. And I'm hoping that we're talking about things that people want to talk about but are afraid to talk about, right? And so I don't pick the topics. However, I do sit with Chris and we talk about ideas and things that are in the media, things that we hear. And what Chris does is when we get to this format, when we're here, he decides what the topic is. So I have an idea of the different ones that we've discussed, but I don't know what's actually happening until we get here, and what he's decided that we're going to talk about. And so that makes it real, because my reactions to him are real, because I don't know what to expect when he's at this, when we're here. We're trying out different settings. So you might have seen us in one setting before. We're trying out one now. We might try out something different again in further in upcoming videos. So just bear with us. But in the meantime, like, share, comment, hit subscribe, hit that notification button so you're notified when we're uploading. And so with that, what's our topic today, Chris?
So, Kiya, we left off episode 2. So, for those who haven't seen it, and for those who have, if you haven't, please look at it. And if you have, you know what I'm talking about. We ended with a solution to the issues in episode 2. And one of the words that I used was polyamory. And I was clear to say that I wouldn't share my opinion on it until we spoke about it on our Red Cup Chronicle forum. So,
I'm ready to hear these opinions, these thoughts.
I believe that in today's society, polyamory may be necessary.
Elaborate.
So, we're in a pandemic.
Okay.
And money isn't flowing the way it was prior. And when money isn't flowing, a lot of times, people have to live together that may not have normally lived together, So it could be multiple family members, aunts, uncles, grandparents living together. They may not have been doing that for years, but to save money, to keep a roof over everyone's head, they have to do that. In other situations, it might be, and let me not make this sexist. I'm talking about males and females. Girl might have 2 dudes. Both of them need a place to stay. I mean, what you gonna do? She might not be able to afford rent for one, and she's living with one. So, everyone knows their role. They all operate as a community. Right?
So, let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
Hypothetically, sir. We're dating. We've been together for 10 years. We live together. We have a beautiful place, comfortable. We have a good relationship as far as we're both concerned. And I come to you and say, Chris, honey, my side nigga needs somewhere to stay. So, because of the pandemic, I'm the only one bringing money in. You're not. You lost your job. Unemployment is iffy. It's sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. Everything's in the air. He's working, but not really as much as he used to. His hours been cut back. How about we just all stay together? You okay with that?
Hell fucking no.
Okay.
But here's the deal. I'm talking about for people who are okay with it. Like, there are people who are cool with that. Hell fucking no. Ain't no, excuse my language, ain't no other nigga living in my house other than me. However, if there are people, no, there actually are people out there that are cool with that. And if you're looking at group economics, that's group economics.
Okay, so what if the tables was turned? You came to me. Is that something you would do? Would you come to your lady and say, hey?
Well, but you have to know who you're dealing with.
Okay.
So if you know your woman ain't cool with it, you wouldn't come to her with it.
Okay.
But if you know your woman is cool with it and she's accepting of it, do you not do it?
Okay, so let's take off the table whether you are in a relationship or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your personal life is what, we're not going to discuss that here in the forum. But is that something that you would want?
No. Hell no. No. Let me tell you something. World. Audience. I am a devil's advocate. Ain't no nigga living in my house. And
well, I don't mean
right.
live. What, are you open to being in a three-way relationship?
No. The reason,
even if it's two women.
Nope.
Okay.
No. And I'm gonna tell you why. That is an emotional roller coaster that no one's gonna win. No one. See, it all sounds good when you feel like you pimping and you macking, but see now, you dealing with two different personalities, right? And then now you have to keep both of these personalities content. Whether you a female in the situation with two men or a male with two women. You have to keep both parties content. So most people don't even know how to satisfy. I'm not talking about just sex. I'm talking about in general. They don't even know how to satisfy one partner, let alone two. Then let's say the other partner feels like you like them better. So now you're dealing with competition.
So what if it's not the person in the middle with the two separate? What if we're all dating?
That's what polyamory is.
Right.
We're all dating.
So we're all dating. So no one should feel in competition because we're all dating.
But let me tell you something. Okay. All right. People have multiple children, right?
Yeah.
You will never be able to distribute the love, even if you're trying to, evenly. One child's going to feel more favored than the other.
Of course.
And one's
I
gonna
always
feel
hear
less.
it.
All right.
You have the middle child syndrome.
Right.
The youngest child syndrome. Yeah, I hear it.
Same thing with if you're in a three-way relationship. Someone's going to feel like they're lacking because everyone has needs, right? So one person's needs might be different than the other, and both people may not even be able to provide those needs for that one person in a relationship.
So then those people are not the people for you.
I understand that, but most people don't understand this until they actually do it and live with each other. Just like people in relationships. You know how many relationships during this pandemic ended because people were never in the house with their partner that long. Everyone was going to work, coming home, a little weekend here, boom, boom, boom. But now you're in the house with them all day. Now you realize, hey, hold up, this is a problem. Same thing with a polyamorous relationship. If there's three people, and then now you're dealing with each other consistently for a certain amount of time, you might realize, like, listen, this ain't what I want, or this person doesn't provide X, Y, and Z. My argument with it is that I'm not against it if it works economically for all parties. Would I do it? No. But if it's economically beneficial and they're cool with it, then go for it.
I'm all for it.
What? We on the same page? What?
Economically, whatever it is, I'm all for it.
Oh.
I'm all for it if, and I'm gonna say this. People say you can't love two people at once. You can, because there's something that one person is giving you that the other person isn't, right? And people are going to say, oh, 730. No. And for those of you who don't know what 730 is where you're with a partner and they give you 70% and you get that other 30% from someone else and you think that, oh, that's it, right? And so you usually leave the 70 for the 30 because that 30 you was missing, you getting from the 30. You get it from the other person. However, if you're getting 70 from one and you need 30 from another, why not just get your whole 100, right? And have them both together. If they're open to it. If these two people are open to it, then why not, right? I think that it can avoid a lot of, it can become an issue, but it can also be something that avoids a lot of other issues, right? So a pro would be instead of me cheating on you, you know where I'm at. You know what I'm doing. We've had this discussion, right? So we can, and so it's either we're gonna all love each other, or I'm gonna be doing what I'm doing, and you wondering where I'm at doing it, and who I'm doing it with. That's a pro of it, right? You are in the know. You know what's going on, and if all three of you are committed, then no one else should be. Like, how much more do you need? You're getting it from two other sources, right? If you got to get it from somewhere else, then that means that that's not what it is that you want. You don't want a commitment. You want to be able to do what you want to do, and that's something totally different, right? So I think if you are someone who realizes that I am in a situation where I'm caught up and I love two people, why not see if they're open to doing this? They may both be into it, but there's multiple sites, groups where you can go in that people are looking for those type of things. And if that's what you want to do, why not? Again, I'm always on the safe side. Be safe until you know for sure that the three of y'all are totally committed to each other, and whatever you choose to do as adults after that is your business. But, always be safe. I think with it is a double sword, though. I think a lot of people are more accepting of it or willing to do it if it's a man and two women as opposed to a woman and two men. I think that you will see men more so saying, yeah, I'll do it if he can have two women, but not open if his lady wants to have two men. And then if it is, they're going to say, oh, the man is gay or this and that. And that's not necessarily true. They might just, I think sometimes, I've never dated a woman, but I think that I'm never going to say I could never love a woman because I haven't been in love with a woman. That doesn't mean that I can't never love one, right? Because I think for me, I probably would fall in love with someone for who they are and not their sexual orientation, right. like whether they're male, female. However, I've never dated a woman, and I've never been in love with a woman, and I've never said I wanted to date one. But that doesn't mean that it can never happen. And I can see myself loving a woman. Would I be intimate with her? Maybe not. But I don't have to be intimate with her to love her and to get something from her. I may get emotional love from her, right? And so that's still part of the three-way. And so that's the same thing a man may get. He might get financial support, like you were saying. He might say, you know what, fuck it. I still get to be with my girl. She's happy. I'm happy. The household is taken care of. We all good. I don't care. He may not sleep with him, but they are all still in a committed relationship with the three of them. But I think that there's a double standard where, like I said, it's more men with two women as opposed to a woman with two men. Would I personally do it? No. I'm selfish. I don't want my man looking at a fucking soul. So I don't even care if I'm in agreement. No. If today is my day, then that's what it is. No. I don't want to share. And I know me. I am jealous, and I'm gonna feel like is she getting more? Like you said, I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna feel that way. No matter how mature I try to be about it, and even if I am mature about it, in the back of my head, I'm always going to be thinking that I don't want to do that. I don't want to wonder. Well, it's the two of us. Me and this woman are giving ourselves to this man, and then we don't hear from him on Tuesday and Wednesday. What is he doing? Is he with someone else? I can't. I'm already wondering that with just me. I got to worry about it with me and her, and now a third person. It's just too much. It's just too much. Well, so I couldn't do it.
No, and I understand that. However, I believe, and then here's the crescendo on it. For me, like I sound like pick devil's advocate. I don't honestly believe anyone is capable of doing that long term. I'm gonna tell you why. For one of the reasons what you just said, I believe through human nature, I don't care who you are, how big and bad you are, you're gonna feel a level of jealousy, paranoia, or whatever, because everyone I think out here seeking to be loved, right? Whichever way you feel love is, but everyone is seeking for someone to love them unconditionally. And I do not believe you can feel unconditional love knowing that that person is sharing that same feeling that you want to share with them with someone else. Because that's what it is. Because you've identified that you're now in a relationship with other people.
Right.
Right. So there's no way you can get 100%, 100%, 100%. It's going to be it's going to be unequal, like you said. It's going to be like kind of like a 70-30. And it may be cool for the first few months, first year. After that, it's going to say, hold on. These are things that I want, individual goals. You may want to have a family. But when you envisioned your family, it wasn't with a man and another woman. It was like, well, listen, I want the white picket fence. I want the kids. I want the husband. I want us to grow old with our grandkids. Now you have to look at it like, hold up. She's going to get the same thing from this same individual. Or even, like I said, I'm speaking from a man's perspective, but even if it's a woman with two men, a man looks at it like, yo, woman is a prize to a lot of men. Mm-hmm. Where, he holds her at a high regard, he loves her, he envisions these things with her, family, whatever. No real man truly wants to know that his girl is screwing another dude. And to know that the same dude she's screwing is either living with you or y'all all hanging out together and you know he exists. That's a lot to deal with. And when you have these kind of feelings and anxieties and insecurities, it's going to turn either violent or violent. You know what I'm saying? It's going to go those two directions because now you're feeling like, listen, even though you've agreed to it, you feel inadequate. So I personally believe that people cannot do that long term. I think it's okay financially for a certain amount of time, but later on down the line, 5-10 years, it ain't gonna work.
I definitely see where you're coming from, and I'll say that I was in a situation where I was with someone, and I thought that the person was no longer with someone else. Mm-hmm. They made me feel and think that that relationship was done and over with. And then I later found out that no, they were still seeing each other. And though the young lady said, but he told me he wasn't with you, but he was living with me. What did you think was going on, right? And I think in the back of my head, she always knew, but she was okay with it. And I kept thinking to myself, like, this is crazy. And someone said to me, well, if she knew, y'all might as well have just all been together, because didn't you know? And I said, no, I really honestly didn't know. See, from her perspective, he was living with me. How could you have think that there was nothing going on, right? There's no way. He left you to move in with me, and he's telling you nothing's going on. That doesn't make any sense.
Right.
But for me, I'm like, he left you, so he must don't want to be with you, because he wouldn't have left you to come stay with me, right? And I'm young, dumb, thinking this. And so from my perspective, yes, I thought it was over. But in the back of her head, she had to know, and she was still willing to be with him. So the person was like, y'all should have just all been together. And then at some point, I was thinking to myself, like, well, shit, technically we was all fucking each other, because he was bouncing back and forth between the two of us. And to me, it's just like, ew. But even though in her mind she knew in some way or form, her ultimate goal was to be with him and just him, because that's why she was accepting of it, right? And she was accepting of it because he was come to see her and be with her. I don't think that if he would have brought that to her and said, even though she knew he was technically with me, I don't think that if he brought that to her, she would be okay with that, even though that's technically what she was doing, right? She was technically with him while he was with someone else. And those are what you would call side chicks, right? But I think it's different, because when you're a side chick, or you have like the upper hand, you feel like you know what's going on or whatever. Now when it's all of y'all and they sneaking around, you don't know. So now it's like, what the fuck? I'm here, I'm giving you my all, and they still got their own little secret world. So that's why for me, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it because I would always feel that way. So I totally agree with you that in the beginning, oh, this is fun. Maybe even 2-3 years. Let's say that you got
I'll give it that.
You got somebody who's like, I'm rocking it out. But unless y'all in it and y'all got some kind of show or some kind of money is rolling in because of the lifestyle y'all are living, I can't foresee it lasting for years and years and years. If you know of anyone, or if there's any couples out there, any
listen, hit us in this.
Yeah, let us know that y'all been together more than 3 years. I definitely would love to talk to y'all, meet y'all, and have these conversations, because I have so many questions that I want to ask.
Right, and they would be more the authority on it because they've lived it. You know,
right.
Like I said, we're more coming from me, Kiya never done it, but we coming from the perspective of outsiders looking in.
Right.
And just also looking at it from a human nature standpoint. And it's something that you brought up that made like a lot of sense to me when you were talking about like the not knowing things. One thing if the side piece knows, but then no one, you know, everybody's kind of like in concert, but no one really knows the deal about the other person because you're all together. And I think also humans by nature have a level of competition.
Yeah.
And now that the competition's in your face, it can make things very interesting, because a lot of times, you know, like I said, women 9 times 10, or women, not say women don't cheat, but a lot of women get cheated on. That's just a fact. And a lot of times they know, but they don't know unless they do their research what the girl look like. And a lot of times, if you notice, even like I've seen shows where, you know, women compare each other, like, oh, that looks good on you, and look at your nails, look at your... To me, that's a version of sizing each other up a little bit. You know, like, what looks good on this person, what looks better. And, you know, I think women do judge each other.
Yeah, but those type of ones are like, those are healthy. Because I'm not in competition with you. You my friend, and I'm telling you look nice.
No, that's different. I'm talking about ones that don't know each other.
Right, oh, okay.
No, I'm not talking about friends. I'm talking about like a woman could see another woman in the streets, and I like your nails. Not that she doesn't really like them, but I'm pretty sure she would like to know what it looks like on her if she got it done. You know? But now, when it comes to who you're dating, now that competition is in your face. So that same woman that you might say, oh, she looks good in the street, that could possibly be the person that you're now in a three-way relationship with.
Right.
So there's gonna be a psychological component to it where you're like, yo, I'm constantly in competition with this girl. Even if you're not, there's still gonna be that human nature where it's like, damn, yo, she did this or she did that, and she knows how to buy him gifts, or she cooks a good dinner, blah, blah, blah. And the same thing with like if 2 dudes accepted that, 2 men. Listen, he might be an excellent chef. Homeboy just know how to make eggs and frozen sausage or some shit.
Right.
You know? And then now this competition weighs in on your head because you're always going to feel like those 2 parties can go off into the distance without you. Right. And I just think that's human nature.
You're absolutely correct. I'm like the biggest TikToker on earth. And I'm constantly sending stuff to my friends that I see. I'm like, you know, sending it so they can look at. And there is, I think they're called Trifecta. I don't want to get their names wrong, but I think it's called Trifecta. And it's a young man with 2 young women. They're all 3 attractive. The women are very beautiful. And I think that he was married to his wife. And they met a young lady at a party. She became friends with the wife, and then the husband started to like her, and then they all started dating. And recently, I believe he asked her to marry him, and she said yes. I think their YouTube and their page has been up for like a year, maybe, or a little less, or maybe a year. And so right now, yeah, they're living on a high life, and they have a lot of followers, a lot of views. So, as I said earlier, unless this lifestyle is providing a lot for you, I can't foresee this going the long haul. Right. Like they have.
So let me ask you: Are they young?
Yeah, they seem. I think they're in their 20s, maybe 30s, okay. Early 30s. I don't think that they're like over 32. Okay. But I know that there was also a show that came on. What's it? Not Lifetime, TLC. And it was a man, and he had the sister wives. I think that's what it was called. Yeah. I saw that. So they all weren't sleeping with each other. So that's like a different aspect of it.
I think that's polygamy.
Yeah, but the man, he had the wife. He was married, and then he had like 5 wives and kids. Yeah. But the women weren't sleeping with each other. That's even worse. Yeah. because now you're in serious competition. Because in the other three-way, y'all all together, right? Y'all all supposed to be, you know, they like in the trifecta, they sleep with each other. I think someone asked them like, how do they sleep? How do they? And they said they take turns. Sometimes the wife is in the middle. Sometimes the girlfriend, the fiance now is in the middle. Sometimes the husband's in the middle, so that no one feels left out. Right? But now you have this separate entity where it's like the husband and he has 5 wives and he's spending the night with each wife. In my mind, on Friday, I'm wondering like, the fuck they doing in the room?
True, but see, I don't know, because on Friday you want to know what they're doing in the room, but imagine being in the room, knowing what they're doing, and you not feel like you is a part of it as the other party.
But I'm not a part of it. They got their own thing happening.
No, you in the room. You.
No, I'm talking about I'm talking about the other aspect.
No, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to show you the contrast. You don't know, so anything's left to interpretation when you don't.
And that make it worse. Your imagination can run fucking wild.
Absolutely correct. But now you in the room, so your imagination isn't running wild. You know that he might have gave her a couple more strokes than you. you
so
did.
Now we counting pumps.
Hey,
pump
listen,
one,
it can happen.
Pump two,
it can happen.
Pump 3.
Right, and you like, wait,
he smacked her ass 3 more times.
3 more times, you know. He got off and hugged her tighter than he hugged you. See, now you see it. It's in your face.
Oh, I know, because I'm telling you, when I was in that situation, I know she knew. But when even though she knew, when she actually seen me with him, she wanted to fight me. And I kept saying, but you've been doing this. What do you want to fight for?
It's in her face.
Because it's right.
She sees it.
She knew, but
right.
She ain't see it.
That's what I'm saying.
And now she's seeing.
Right. So
and I always was trying to figure out what was she so mad about, right? And I think that I know what it is. You have brought this up earlier about giving the same, right? Giving the same love.
Right, equal amounts of love.
Right. I think that's what it was. They were together for a very long time prior to me coming into the picture. And the things that he did for her in all those years, he did for me in a short amount of time. And I think for her, that's what made it hurt more. Why it was so hurtful. I mean, granted, he cheated on you, right?
Right.
Well, from what I understand, they wasn't together. And then he met me, and then in the process of meeting me, he started, you know, getting back with her. So technically, he cheated on me, not her. But it's, you know, when you love someone and you think that they no longer love you and they're starting to love someone else, it's hard because you still love them. And it's even harder when you see that, again, they're doing things with this person for this person that you guys took 10 years to do, now doing it with someone in 10 months.
10 months.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Even with that, it's like, I know me, and I don't think that I could be in that type of relationship because I don't care if it's her birthday. I don't want you to buy her that.
Right. And also look at it like this. Let's say hypothetically, we've been together for 7 years. So we meet the new girl, and it took me 6 years to propose to you. And I'm proposing to her in 6 months. You're going to feel away.
Yeah.
So just to your point, human nature, you're going to be like, yo, even like you said, your birthday, like, hold up. Damn, that's my day.
Yeah.
That's when but now we share this day, and then she gets her day. She gets the same kind of treatment. Or I might view it as she gets better treatment. So I think these things are just human nature. However, I'm going to go back to my original point. Like I said, if it's financially or economically beneficial to the parties, then go for it.
Well, why can't we just have a roommate? Do we have to be having sex? Why we can't just have a roommate?
Well, but see, that's the thing. You get a roommate that's not polyamory.
Right. So let's not do that.
Polyamory means everybody's screwed.
That's my point. Let's not do that.
All right, so let's just not do polyamory.
No,
let's just get a roommate.
Right, because we need to pay these fucking bills. Let's just do that.
You know, you got to figure out what roommate
let's
you want
go stay with my mother. Okay, she got 3 bedrooms.
Some roommates might turn into polyamory. You ain't got no control over that.
Right, that's true too. But they said, love make things happen. You never know where it's coming from or who you gonna love. Yeah. You never know. That song, by the way, if you listen to it, is a song about cheating. I don't care what nobody say. It ain't about love. It's a song about, hey, I fell in love with somebody else while I was with you. I cheated. That's my take on that song.
Yeah.
I listened to it the other day.
Yeah.
And I think the video clarified it for me. Because it was like the woman was at home, and her husband went off to work, and the man came and knocked on the door, and she was like, ooh, now I'm in love. And they started having something. She cheated.
Oh, that's how he went to work and they came.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
But, you know, to wrap this up, you do...
Are we wrapping it up?
Oh, we're not?
Are we?
We're going to keep this going.
Oh, no, I'm just saying,
because
because I usually when I say, can we wrap it up?
Oh, yeah, well, you know I had to take your line.
Wrap it up. Really do. Really wrap it up, though, guys, right? Like, no matter what y'all do, right?
Yes.
I'm going to tell y'all something. Sex without a condom is great. But your life is even more important, right? So I'm gonna say this because we're talking about relationships. The one thing that I always tell people, when you are starting something new, hopefully the person is being honest. Always ask, what is this? That's the first thing. What is this? Where do you see it going?
That's where do you see it going? That to me is the most important.
Where do you see it going, right? And what happens if we, right? And those are, you ask what if questions, like, so if we take this step of being intimate, what happens next? Are we getting to know each other to date, to potentially be in a relationship, or is we just fucking, like, and don't ever let anyone half-ass you, and that's men and women. When a person says, well, I don't know, I have to see, I have to play it out, we don't got time for that. You know what you want. A person knows what they want. I want to fuck, then that's what it is. And if you're okay with it, then that's on you. But don't let anyone ever half you. Give you half of an answer. I'm not sure. It's either yes or no. Are we going, is this, us having sex is because now once we do this, we're going to be committed to each other. Well, I don't know. I got to see. What you got to see if it's good? Like, don't let anyone half you. Right? I don't care if big, small, ugly, fat, skinny. Don't matter. Don't let nobody half you. And I'm going to tell you that. So the question is always, what is this? Once y'all start talking on the phone and y'all keep keying on the phone, texting each other, what is this? Make that clear. I was talking to somebody one time and they're going to tell me he didn't even like fat bitches. So why are you talking to me, sir? What is this?
Well, you know what? But we gotta be clear. He's lying saying that.
Of course he is. Because he was talking to me. Hello.
Right, exactly.
Right? Like he was lying.
Right. You know,
I didn't press him. He pressed me.
Exactly. He's just making stuff up.
Right.
And you know, sometimes not change topic. And this is to women do it too. But I'm gonna have to talk to men. I'm sorry, I have to.
Let me talk to me.
You know, man, they be making stuff up, man. You know, and they be acting like, oh, I wouldn't mess with this woman. Yes, you would. See, let me tell you, I'm gonna put y'all into a little bit of game, just a little bit of game, ladies, just a little bit of game. A little bit. It's not always about what you look like. It's how you treat somebody. And I think women are beautiful all shapes and sizes. Let me just clarify that. But a lot of times a woman thinks she has to look a certain way, what they consider the prototype to catch a man. No, sometimes you gotta treat him like a human being, you know? And that doesn't mean that you're what's that word they like to use? Being submissive or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a word they keep throwing out there. Or,
being a baby that listen?
Huh?
That they be like, that little lingo they saying, being a little baby that's gonna listen.
Yeah. That type of nonsense. No, it doesn't mean that. What it means is men need a certain level of understanding. There's a lot of women out there who are able to do that. And sometimes a man gets thrown off because he's not used to that. So instead of him admitting he's not used to that, he starts to say, well, you're just not my type. No, I'm not used to the way you're treating me, and it's throwing me off that you're treating me so well. So I'm going to start throwing other things in your direction to throw you off. So that's just a little bit of advice. That's probably the only advice I'm going to give you. I know that's what it was. Only advice
I'm a good person. So yeah, he couldn't handle it. He was like, I don't even like fat girls. I said, was you saying that when you sending me dick videos and you jerking off? But anyway, I digress. The point is, ladies, never let up, and men and women, never let someone half-ass you. So that's why you always, and again, people lie. So you can't always tell if they being honest or not. But when they hear you asking those questions, it makes them think, am I going to play with this person or not? Right? It makes them take a step back and say, this person don't got time for the bullshit. So am I going to play with this person or not? So you ask that question when you start to get the ground of the conversations. what you might be looking for is what they looking for. You don't know. And people change. Let me not say that they don't, because what I want at 22 might not be what I want at 32, right? So I could say I want X, Y, and Z today, and 2 years from now, that's not what I want. Those things happen. But ask these questions. What is this, right? What's this texting and phone conversation we having? Where do you see it going? And what's next? What happens when I lay down with you? What happens? What's next? Right? And hopefully that person is honest enough to give you an insight into what they're looking for. And if you want the same things, great. And if you don't, but you're okay with it, then that's on you. That's your decision to make. But if you're going to take the step with anybody to be intimate, again, ask questions. When's the last time you've been to the doctor? Are you okay with going to the doctor? Are you okay with bringing me tests back? I'm going to do the same thing. Are you okay with that? Are you okay with waiting until we go to the doctor? If not, can we use protection until we go to the doctor? Even if we go to the doctor and we're safe, do you expect for me to now not use protection? Know what's going on, because you never want to be in the middle of something and you get caught up. Because when you're caught up with someone and your feelings, sometimes your feelings, your heart speak for your mind. So, and it happens. I've done it. I've been stupid. I've loved someone and I'm like, okay, I'll do it because I like this person, right? But that's not normally what I would do. So before it gets to that point where you in like and lust, know what it is so that you thinking with a straight head. And so with that, we're going.
Oh, and I'm gonna throw one more shot out there. It's a shot.
Catch it.
What happened to that $50,000 I was going to get in student loan forgiveness? Watch episode 1. And on that note, thank you. Like, subscribe, share. Click on the notification. We love y'all, and we hope that this topic was great and that you guys enjoyed it. And again, like, share, comment. Subscribe. We love y'all. Y'all keep tuning in. We got more in store for you. Peace.